various other sciences that have been revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. These sciences were actually once available and freely practiced in 56 nations across the entire continent, as we can see in the map there, but are now facing extinction due to a persecution that has been stretched over an entire millennium. And these are some of the various initiatives that have been taken by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, over 108 Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations initiatives, right from starting from medical, against medical malpractice, for enlightened birthing and pregnancy, for persecuted religion, for women empowerment, against persecution and genocide, freedom of opinion and expression, against cyber terrorism. So as you can see, the Sri Kailasa's 108 initiatives support a variety of humanitarian services, which are collectively enabling us to create an enlightened, peaceful, sustainable, equitable, resilient, and thriving world. And these are directly mapped to all the sustainable development goals as described by the United Nations. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also initiated the No Hungry Home project, which has been offered by the SKUN, which is the Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nations for Nutritious Food and Hunger-Free World. And this initiative was taken by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism 27 years ago, right from the time the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began his public life. 1 billion meals have been served completely free of cost all across the globe. Every month over the past 27 years, the Hindu Adi Saivite minority community has served more than 3 million annadans, which is free organic meals as per the Hindu tradition, in religious gatherings to everyone without any discrimination of gender, caste, creed, or anything. 10,000 meals are served every single day, completely free of cost, and it hits peaks of heights such as 100,000 on the festival days. And you all need to know, literally in Hindu tradition, 200 days or I can say 250 days or 360 days are actually celebrative days. And here we are looking at another initiative taken by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is Kailasa's Protective Preventive COVID Care Centers. As we all know, the current world is actually ravaged by the aftermath of the COVID pandemic, which came and which is continuing to exist and thrive. And during the peak of the entire COVID pandemic, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had converted all the monastery campuses into a multi-layer quarantine facility where anyone and everyone, regardless of any difference in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, socioeconomic status, everyone was invited completely for free, and all the basic necessities, including the food, the shelter, including the internet, and the facilities for each of them to function and work, was provided completely free of cost. And another important thing is that all the medical care was also provided completely free of cost. Over 30 million citizens followed Kailasa's 28-day spiritual regimen in 2020 when the COVID pandemic was in the peak. And even now, we are continuing to offer all of these services to a very large number of people as it is happening. The next we're looking at is the Nithyananda Hindu University and the Nithyananda Gurukul that is offered by the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nation for educational reform and development. The Nithyananda Hindu University, which is established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is the world's largest Hindu university. And the Nithyananda Gurukul, which was revived and established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on October 2nd, 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism inaugurated the Nithyananda Gurukul with a huge vision to revive the ancient Adi-Shaivite guru-disciple relationship, the authentic tradition of Hinduism, which is an authentic knowledge transmission system based on the very enlightenment. Looking at some of the facts and figures, the Nithyananda Hindu University has over 20 million plus students enrolled with over 7,000 plus free courses, extended campuses in over 150 countries. So this is about the Nithyananda Hindu University. Next, we're looking at the Nithyananda Jnanalaya, or the library, and the Hinduismpedia. And this is offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for protection of the Hindu scriptures. The Nithyananda Jnanalaya, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, established the world's largest Hindu library to collect and preserve the 1 million plus Hindu manuscripts, Hindu scriptures, while ensuring that all the knowledge, that whatever is being revived, is actually made available free of cost to all the people, completely free of cost. So collecting, preserving, and digitizing and making it available to each and every one of you, all the source books of Hinduism that exist. Apart from this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored over 10,000 plus books in 3 languages, which have been translated into 50 plus languages. He has also published 10,000 plus articles and given 10,000 plus free hours of discourses with over 1 billion views. Similarly, Kailasa's Hinduismpedia, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has collected more than 15 terabytes of digital books and rare manuscripts from all the 19 Saravanya Pitams, which are the ancient mats and the Hindu libraries and the Hindu seats of education. With over 1 million pages on Hinduism, the Kailasa's Hinduismpedia is a website, a collection of over 22,000 digital books, 1,000 plus e-textbooks, and 100,000 plus articles on various topics in Hinduism. The next we're looking at is confluences for the world peace that have been offered by the Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nation for Global Peace and Religious Harmony. Right from 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has organized various such global peace events. And in 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace walk covering over 1,000 kilometers and covering over 1,000 villages to bring together harmony in all walks of life, to promote the feeling of connection between people and oneness among each other. And during this, the health camps were set up and conducted to all the participants and to all the citizens wherever the villages that were visited. And then we have the women empowerment programs that are offered by Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nations for feminine empowerment and gender equality. Kailasa's Yogini Sarvanya Peetam was establishing yoga and meditation universities to empower the very quality and emphasize on the real solutions through the Vedas and Agamas, which are the source scriptures of Hinduism, to empower the indigenous rural women fighting against wrongful gender stereotyping, gender-based violence, and lack of inclusive and quality learning environments. And some of the initiatives includes Kailasa's Nithyananda Lakshmi, which is a microfinancing service, Kailasa's Women Foundation and Women Empowerment Self-Help Centers, which have been launched in over 108 places around the world since 2009, and Kailasa's Ankita program, which is providing foundational literacy about working basic community service and providing all the infrastructure necessities as well. And you also have the Kailasa's Ashraya program, which is providing vocational training programs to the rural and the indigenous women to provide equal opportunities to access to independent, self-sufficient financial environments. To look at the numbers, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the Vedic feminism in Kailasa, where 80% of the leadership of the positions was occupied by women. And then we have the Nithyananda Yoga, which is one of the very, very prominent and one of the most exclusive, I would say, something that is offered to worldwide, which every one of us know, which is the Nithyananda Yoga from the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Yoga. As part of this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revived the 108 scientifically validated kriyas to target over 108 major diseases and disorders such as diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, rheumatism, and so on. And all of this is completely authentic and taken from the source tradition. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived the ancient pole yoga, which is the Shivastamba yoga, and the rope yoga, which is the Kundalini Rajju, in which the yogic asanas are performed on top of the pole and on the rope. As you can see in the pictures in the side, these directly align your entire body, mind, and consciousness to the highest possible yogic physiology. And apart from this, we have also set over 2 Guinness World Records on September 30th and October 3rd, 2017, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was awarded with the Guinness World Record for the largest rope yoga and the largest pole yoga, bringing the worldwide attention to these extraordinary 2 forms of authentic and indigenous yogic performances. And as we are looking at the various contributions by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, we also need to understand that there has been a huge amount of persecution that has been taunted upon the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism over a decade. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in spite of this, is unwavered in his intention, the commitment and action which is the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, the United States of Kailasa, to protect, to revive, and preserve Hinduism in the most ancient, the most peaceful, still living and lasting, demonstrable system that has the possibility of peaceful coexistence among people by war, with so much of comparison and so much of fear and greed. Sri Kailasa is a bold statement of peaceful coexistence. And the United States of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened civilizational nation, the first nation of Hindus, has also been represented in various instances in the United Nations. The first nation of Hindus, that is led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, spoke on behalf of the 2 billion global Hindu diaspora at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. So you can see the entire video on the official website, kailasa.org. And this is where we come towards a brief understanding of what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working towards and who the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself is. And today, we're all going to be having the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. I hope that every one of you got a chance to understand about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and to learn more in detail about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can head over to kailasa.org and you can learn about and read in detail on the various coronations, the various activities, and the various achievements by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can also become a part of us, where you can head over to the very website and you can become part of us. So you can head over to the website and join us. Let us now come back together after a short break.
Here we become Paramashivam. Here we become Paramashivam. Here we become Paramashivam. Vicham Paramashivam. Vicham Paramashivam. Vicham Paramashivam.
Nithyananda, everybody, welcome back. So, in the previous session, we learned about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and now we're going to be learning about the one of the extraordinary contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to this entire world, which is the power manifestation, the science of manifesting the extraordinary Shaktis. In the Vedagamas, which are the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that there are over 463 powers, which each and every one of us as human beings are hardwired to manifest. Manifesting powers are described as a system, a method, and a science for human beings to explore and experience and express the various possibilities and powers, and to have access to the various states of consciousness. Shakti is manifest from the fundamental principle, from the cognition that you are a divine, and that you need to manifest the divine. It does not come from the cognition that you are a man and that you need to become divine. There is a difference between Shaktis and Siddhis. When the word extraordinary powers come in, many of us think of it as Siddhis. But no, there is something much more powerful, which are the Shaktis. And let us look at what are the differences between Shaktis and Siddhis. Shakti is expressed from the space of enlightenment, which is the very source of what we want to achieve. And as a very side effect of the feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the Guru, you start manifesting these Shaktis. Whereas on the other side, Siddhis are powers that manifest from self-tapas or penance that an individual does towards enlightenment. Shaktis are the very source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis happen on the path of enlightenment. The other thing with Shaktis and Siddhis is that Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way just after the initiation from Swamiji. Like, because you do not have to do anything other than receiving the initiation from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and you immediately start manifesting the powers. Similarly, Shaktis are permanent, whereas Siddhis are not. And not just that they are not permanent, they can also divert you from the very purpose of enlightenment itself. So, this entire science of power manifestation is actually authenticated through four aspects of evidences called as the pramanas in the Hindu tradition, the Vedagamic tradition. The first is the Shastra Pramana. Now, these four pramanas actually help us validate and authenticate the entire science of power manifestation. Taking the first, the Shastra Pramana, which is the scriptural reference as revealed by Paramashiva in the Vedas and the Agamas. And these are the eternal and unchangeable truths that are revealed. Next is the Apta Pramana, which is the experiences and the results of Aptas. Aptas are those beings who are enlightened masters and adepts in Hinduism. So, first and the foremost is being authenticated in the scripture, after which it is authenticated by the experience of these enlightened masters. Then, next is the Atma Pramana, which is the personal experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our beloved Swamiji, has manifested all of these powers and has validated the very process of each of this power manifestation. So that is the Atma Pramana. And the fourth is the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the scientific validation. Of course, science is a long way to catch up with the Eastern science, but we are also continuously working with the modern science and the available modern technologies to validate each and every one of these powers. So before it is being offered to each and every one of you across the globe, it goes through the scrutiny of the Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana, and the Pratyaksha Pramana, just to make sure that it's a foolproof, time-tested, and a reliable science that is offered to you. So it's not just for some, it can happen, for some, it won't. It is a science which can be replicated for all. So that is what we are going to look at. Paramashiva, he is the ultimate. He is the source of all of these Shaktis. In the Hinduism, Paramashiva is a primordial divinity. He is the ultimate reality and cause, which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As the very fundamental base of Avyakta, which is the unmanifest form, and the Vyakta, which is the manifest existence of Paramashiva, he performs the Panchakritya, which is the five cosmic acts of Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Bhava, and Anugraha. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. So these are the five various actions that are done by Paramashiva, who's the source of all of these Shaktis, in form and beyond form. Manifesting Shaktis are basically when every ultimate truth, which is the jnana, which we are going to be learning through the day today in the next session, where we're going to be learning about the various powerful cognitions that are there. And when that actually gets mapped into your consciousness, which is your prajna, it manifests as the possibility and the power of every being, which is the prajnana. So now we are going to be entering into the power manifestation. We're going to get ready to witness a very unique and exciting power demonstration with every one of us. So myself, Srinitya Sundareshwarananda, I will be manifesting the power. And joining me, we also have Srinitya Parameshananda Maharaj, who will also be manifesting the power with us. So first, let us look at the science of third eye. Where exactly does Paramashiva reveal about the science of third eye? He reveals this science in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 34. The Shastra Pramana, the scriptural reference in Sanskrit, which is the source language in which Paramashiva revealed, goes as Kapalantarmano Nasya Tishtan Milita Lochanaha Kramena Manaso Dadyat Lakshaye Laksha Uttamam. By fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center, and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession. By that stability of the mind and the inner space, one directly sees the ultimate goal, which is the lakshyam, by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any place or space, attaining the space of oneness with Paramashiva. So as we can see here, Paramashiva himself reveals in his very own words about this science of seeing through the third eye, manifesting the powers of third eye. So third eye is not just one power, but when your third eye is awakened, there is a multitude of powers that get awakened. And today Due to the time constraint and due to the brief introduction, we'll be showing you a couple of power manifestations for each and every one of you to just understand what is even possible. And this is actually possible by every one of you. Let's now look at the Apta Pramana, which is the experience of the great rishis who manifest this power. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna, Natu mam shakshyase drishtu manenaiva svachakshisha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishwaram. Bhagavan Krishna says, you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore, I grant you the divine third eye vision. Behold my cosmic opulence. In the Hindu Purana, the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye to behold Krishna's Vishwarupa Darshan. The 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which contains the description of Bhagavan Krishna's cosmic form, is also actually completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Bhagavan Sri Krishna through his third eye. So this validates the science of third eye has been in existence not just now, but time immemorial, from the time we know of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And in Swamiji's own words, the Atma Pramana, Swamiji says, the very first experience that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degrees, 10 directions, below me, everything. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to experience all of it as me.
Right and out.
So that is the personal experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The next, we have the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. So at a very young age itself, the study of brain, when the third eye is activated, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism manifests the various Shaktis or the very state of consciousness in which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was studied and compared using the positron emission tomography. And the results were mind-boggling. While doing the daily activities, there was high activity that was measured in the brain where the third eye was located. But while in the deep state of Samadhi, other than the third eye region, everything else was completely at peace in the brain. So, and at the same time, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was also able to go up and down, switch between the states of consciousness with his very own will. So all these show that the very science of power manifestation is real. So now let us look at some of the powers that we can manifest once our third eye is awakened. And the first power we're looking at is the power of body scanning. So once again, we are going to be opening out this power manifestation to every one of you, all the viewers who are seated with us from around the world. So if you would like to understand and if you want to experience this power manifestation, if you want to go through this whole power manifestation, have a glimpse of it, you can go over and post a comment down in our live platforms, whether in YouTube, Nithyananda TV, the official TV, and any other platform, the Twitter or any other platform where we are streaming live at this point in time. You can put down and we will choose one of you so that you can experience this power manifestation. So while we are entering into this power manifestation, let's quickly run over the Shastra Pramana, which is the scriptural reference for this specific power of third eye. Earlier, we saw about the entire manifestation of the third eye powers, and now we are going to look at the Shastra Pramana for the power of body scanning. And this is revealed by Paramashiva in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 54. Swadehe jagato vapi sukshma sukshmatarani cha tattvani yani nilayam dhyatvante vyajyate para. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body or of the whole universe simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in their source cause, which is Paramashiva. And by the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi, Adi Shakti, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation happens. So this is actually the direct translation of what Paramashiva reveals with respect to how this science of power manifestation of body scanning is manifested. Let's look at an Apta Pramana, which is an instance from which has been recorded in our history of manifesting this power manifestation. And this actually from the life of a Siddha. Thereyer was actually a Siddha, and he is one of the very prominent disciples of Agathir, who is also a very, very important saint in our Hindu tradition. So what happens is one day a man who was suffering with headache comes to Agathir for healing. And Agatya uses the power of body scanning and he identifies the root cause of the headache. He says that it is not just a normal headache, but this is being caused because there is a small tere, which is a type of a tadpole that is actually stuck in the person's brain. And Agatya immediately asks Thereyer, who is his disciple, to immediately see through the third eye and to perform the surgery and remove the frog. And after the surgery is completed, the person is healed and cured of the headache completely, and thus he gained the name Thereyer. So this, as we can see, is an instance where this power of third eye non-invasively identifying the problems and healing them. So this was manifested by Thereyer. And this is one of the thousands of experiences that are recorded in our Hindu history. And here we're looking at one other of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Apart from the very well-known fact that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a very, very powerful healer, and at a very young age, even when the whole mission had begun, even at that time, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was very, very well known for the science of healing and power manifestation in healing people. Here we're looking at one instance from December 22nd, 2019, when Swamiji actually expresses and revealed how he used the power of body scanning on himself. Paraphrasing his words, only when I had the multiple compound hand fracture, I was forced to go for surgery and therefore for medical checkups related to that. At that time, they detected heavy metal quantity in my different organs. It was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used diagnostic methods instead of medical facilities to study the body condition due to the poisoning. Through the body scanning, I found out what the problems and imbalances had happened and where the balances had to be done. And I used allopathy as a second opinion to verify my findings. So, as we can see, this is one of the various examples, various experiences that we can all see in our life where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism used this very power of body scanning. And this rare science has been gifted to each and every one of us through the power of initiation. And the best news is that each and every one of us are going to be initiated into this power manifestation, into the powers of third eye during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan that we're going to experience in just a short while. So now it is time that we enter into the power manifestation itself, where we are going to see, and each of you are going to experience this power. So we actually have a volunteer. Sorry. So we actually have a volunteer on the YouTube platform. So we have Mr. Sharma, who has requested for the power of body scanning. So yes, so while we are also having a lot of comments that are coming in YouTube and in the other platforms as well, we are going to be just picking up one person so that we can manifest the power, and we can also demonstrate a couple of different powers which are there for each and every one of you. So now what we will be doing is we'll be chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And by chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, we actually establish ourselves in the space of oneness with Swamiji. And from that space of oneness, by connecting with Swamiji, we are able to manifest this power and see through our third eye whatever is the problem that Mr. Sharma is facing in his body. So now let us enter into the power manifestation. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Yes, so what Swamiji revealed is that with respect to your health, there are certain issues that you have to immediately attend to, which is one with respect to your breathing. And you have been facing a lot of breathing difficulties for quite some time right now, but you have been avoiding them and neglecting them through the whole time. And taking medicines which are not directly helping you with it. So let me tell you what the actual reason why you are facing it, as Swamiji revealed. Swamiji revealed that the reason for you having all these breathing issues is because of your excess weight and your unhealthy eating practices. Swamiji revealed for you to switch over to a vegetarian diet and to a vegetarian lifestyle completely, so that all these toxins that have been accumulated in your system, in your body, due to eating various other non-veg and the other items over the last many years, will completely be drained out. And this is something that you have to attend to immediately, because it is affecting your lungs in a very, very powerful way, which is going to degrade your health down the line in a very irreversible way. So this is what Swamiji revealed. You can share with all of us how we are able to experience and how we are able to relate with what was revealed. Yes, Paramesha Maharaj, is there anything else that you would like to add on to?
Yes, I also saw that what I saw that you need to start taking more of raw vegetables, because I see there's a lot of intake of this fried items and processed food, like a lot of this packaged food like chips and all those things. I see there's a lot of casual intake of that, which is not required. And I see that you have to start moving to taking more of organic and raw vegetables, raw fruits, and start making that as your diet than adding these kind of other processed and packaged foods.
Yes. So, yes, Aya, you can share with every one of us in the chat as well how you're able to relate with what was revealed. So, now it is time that we move to the next power manifestation. We have many participants who are actually posting, many people who are posting. We have Jack, we have Sam, and we have Masarnaka also, who has requested for the power manifestation. We are going to be manifesting the powers as we keep continuing the next set of power manifestation as well. So now what we're doing is the power of remote scanning. So once again, this is a very, very handy power that comes into reference with each and every one of us, where day to day, as we all know, we miss out things, we leave our keys, we leave our phone, and things just disappear out of our sight, and we don't remember where we had them. So it's one of the very, very practical applications where not only you can find these things and figure out these things just through your third eye, but you also have access to see through things up to completely different lokas and planets completely. So let us look at the Shastra Pramana of this power manifestation as revealed by Paramashiva. The Shastra Pramana for this power of remote vision is given by Paramashiva in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 92. व्योमाकारं स्वमात्मानं ध्याये दिग्भिरान्वृतं निराश्रया चितिशक्ति स्वरूपं दर्शये तथा. The translation is Bhagavan Paramashiva says, concentrate and cognize with restful awareness on oneself in the form of a vast etheric space or sky, which is limitless in any direction whatsoever. Thus, the Chiti Shakti, the power of consciousness freed from all support, reveals and manifests herself as the form of one's essential nature or self. So that is actually the Shastra Pramana. And here we're looking at the Apta Pramana, which is the reference of power manifestation of remote vision from the Mahabharata. Even the previous, where we learned about Bhagavan Shri Krishna giving the Vishwarupa Darshan. Similarly, the Hindu Purana Mahabharata, the whole war, the entire sacred scripture of Bhagavad Gita, is actually narrated to the blind king Dhritarashtra by his trusted charioteer Sanjaya. Sanjaya was actually initiated by Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and he was initiated into this power of Dura Drishti and Durashruti, which is the power of remote vision and remote hearing, both. And it is actually through Sanjaya's narration that all of us got the benefit and all of us were gifted with the sacred scripture of Mahabharata and specifically Bhagavad Gita itself. So that is the Apta Pramana, the reference of this power manifestation of remote vision. Next, let us look at the Atma Pramana, which is the personal experience from the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Narayana Swami Tata was one of the gurus of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who was actually very well known in Tiruvannamalai, and he was able to see remote distances at ease. It was very well known in the entire Tiruvannamalai that anywhere at any time, if someone is missing, or even as small as something is missing to as big as criminals who have done crimes and they have disappeared or in hiding, the police department and the people from the police department used to go to Narayana Swami Tata to seek guidance and to ask where those people were. So one day what happened was one similar instance. Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, was sitting with Narayana Swami Tata, and there were people who actually had come, or a senior police officer had come to Narayana Swami Tata seeking help for finding an important thief who they were actually searching for the last 1 week but could not find. So Narayana Swami Tata just turned towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and asked him to see the whereabouts of the thieves in the mirror that was there in front of Narayana Swami Tata. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism applied the Jnananjana, which is an alchemy product, on the mirror, and not only could see where the thieves were, but also show the very same visual to the senior police officer. And exactly as been pointed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the thief was caught in that very same location. So this is one instance of this power of remote vision. As we can see here, the cup in the right-hand side of the screen that you can see with the black paste is the Jnananjana. So Jnananjana is a spiritual alchemy product which is initiated, energized by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And when this is applied on all the three eyes, it completely activates the three eyes and raises the frequency of all your three eyes. This is an alchemy product that is described very elaborately in the Agamas to experience the third eye awakening and to manifest the powers of Paramashiva as described in the Jnananjana, in the various Agamas. So you can attend the various programs where you are gifted and experiencing and having this Jnananjana in each and every one of your own places. So this is a Jnananjana. And now let us look at experiencing this power manifestation. This Jnananjana was also used on the betel leaf, on the Paramashiva Shila, which is the granite, as you can see. And it was a very, very beautiful existence where during the time of Meenakshi civilization, people actually used Krishna Shila, which is the granite slab, the stone slab. And the uniqueness of this slab is that the entire universe is in their hands. Just by applying the Jnananjana, any visual could be seen in that. So that is the same power manifestation that we are going to be manifesting. So any of your participants, like you want to know or you want to experience this power manifestation, you can just go over and put your comments. See, it can be as simple as you lost something, or you just want to test it and you want to know what is there at this point in time, or anything like that you would like to experience this manifestation. Just go over and put in the comment section, and we are going to be manifesting this power for you. So let me just go over. Yes, so we have John, who has posted to describe the place as he is, where he's attending the program right now. Yes, sure, sure, John. So what we're going to be doing now is once again the same. Actually, if you see, the very core of power manifestation is the same, where we connect in the space of oneness with Swamiji, because Swamiji has already initiated us into the power of third eye. All that we have to do is literally just connect in the space of oneness with Swamiji and then reveal whatever Swamiji shows. So now once again, I'll be chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and sharing with every one of you whatever Swamiji is revealing. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Yes. So, John, what I'm able to see is that wherever currently you're actually sitting is actually in front of your system. You're actually there inside your personal room, like a bedroom, where you're actually randomly just scrolling over and having the entire view also minimized as another screen on your very screen, and you're listening to this program while you're also attending to some other work that you're doing. And right in front of you, you've got a small area, which is probably about 10 feet by 15 feet area. And the light, the entire surroundings are light creamish in color, yellowish cream in color. And that is kind of the surroundings in which you are in. And you also have a built-in the wall rack or the wall cupboards that are there, the wardrobe that is there as is, and it's made of wood with triple partitions in it. And towards the right, you have like a small table, and you also have a couple of, which is to be more precise, two extra seaters where people can sit, and you are on a reclining seat that is there. And towards the left, you have a lot of space that is there, technically where the bed is supposed to be, but you have converted this room more like your office area. Especially this happened during the time when the COVID pandemic hit. So you kind of switch this over to a work from home place kind of a thing. So yes, this is what Swamji revealed me. Parameshwar Maharaj, you can share if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, and I also see that in the table that you have, the table is towards the wall, and there's a window which is there, not straight, not right in front of you, but towards the side. There's a window also, and I see that your house, your room is towards the top of the building. So that's so I see like there's you can from your window you are able to see a tree in front of it. And then I also see that that is your table is not clean. There's a lot of I see a lot of color markers which are lying down. Maybe you are doing something and you left it. And I also see a small kind of a small rack, like a portable rack which is there towards the side, which is green and translucent plastic. So I saw this, and then I also see that you have a black mug next to you. And I also see that your system, your monitor is a MacBook. So these were the few details I saw.
Yes, that's wonderful, Parameshwar Maharaj. I request John Robles, you can share with every one of us how you are able to relate with whatever was revealed during this power manifestation. So now let's move to the next power manifestation. So next is actually a very exciting power manifestation where we are actually going to manifest this power of consciousness over matter. So many times we have seen in movies and sci-fi stuff where people are able to move things without touching. People are able to telepathically move things, change things without actually the physical contact or physically having to use external force towards any movement. But this is actually a reality that can be experienced and expressed by each and every one of us. This is the power of consciousness over matter, where you can actually manifest the movement of anything without any external force by just using your consciousness. And Paramashiva actually elaborately describes about this power in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Dharana 95, Sutra 120. क्वचिद् वस्तूनि विन्यस्य शनैर्दृष्टिं निवर्तयेत् तज्ज्ञानं चित्तसहितं देवी शून्यालयो भवेत्. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, vastu, one should slowly withdraw the sight from the object, as well as slowly eliminate the knowledge of that object along with the thoughts and the impressions of it. Then, O Devi, one abides in Shunya, the state where there is nothing other than this exists, which is the state of all inclusiveness and infinity. Yes, so this is the Shastra Pramana. Let us now look at the power where this belongs to. So this is also part of one of the various powers of the Ashtamaha Shaktis. So now let us enter into this power manifestation where we are going to be seeing Parameshwar Maharaj manifest this power for every one of us. So now we are going to be seeing Parameshwar Maharaj do that. So Parameshwar Maharaj, you can also share a little more in detail about how you would be manifesting this power.
Yes. So the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has initiated us, then we'll be first level is just rolling the coconut on your hand and getting feeling the vibration. But as you go further, when you start getting deeper and deeper into the space of oneness with Paramashiva, you are able to command the cosmos more fluently and with more ability. Then you will start being move the matter in an upward direction. So now I'll be placing the Atmalinga on my hand. Recently, also, Swamiji has been initiating us into this power, and I'll be placing the Atmalinga on my hand. And just by connecting with Paramashiva, I'll be raising the Atmalinga and it will be standing. So that is what we are going to be manifesting today. The thing is not to make the Atmalinga balance on the hand or make the Atmalinga stay, but the thing is, when you start getting into that space of oneness, you are able to create the realities that you want. You are able to manifest the desires that you want, because at that time you are one with the field. You don't feel that you are separate and the rocks or the building which you are in, the trees, the space you're in is different, because like how you move your arm, you feel your arm, you feel that it is you don't feel that I have to do a work to lift it. So the same thing, when you move an object like the Atmalinga, you will be connecting with it. So now we'll be seeing the power manifestation. So this is a flat surface. I've just kept a pillow so that the Atmalinga doesn't fall, and it's a flat surface. Now I'll be keeping my Atmalinga on my hand, and just by chanting the Mahavakya, I will be making the Atmalinga to stand. So now we can all connect to this space, and whatever reality we want, when we also start being in the space of entanglement, we will also start manifesting it. So let us all chant the Mahavakya intensely and create the space for all our realities to become reality. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes, so as every one of us saw, Parameshwar Maharaj had beautifully actually manifested this power of the consciousness over matter, where the Atmalinga, from being in a completely horizontal position, actually completely stood up and then actually went to the other side. So as you can see, this is a power manifestation that everyone can do. And it is all just by the initiation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Just by receiving the initiation from Swamiji, each of us can manifest these powers. So I request all the participants who are sitting with us from around the world, I request each and every one of you, we're going to be entering into this power manifestation. If you experienced and if you feel that, yes, I also want to manifest all of these power manifestations, then go over, head over, and you can start manifesting these powers. Just go over and comment down where you can manifest these powers during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan today. So once again, I request all the participants, you can put out your experiences, you can put out your comments in the YouTube comment section and in other various sessions, various other platforms that are there. So I think with that, we are coming towards the conclusion. I know a lot of participants who are sharing continuous posts are also coming in a couple of various different social media platforms for the various powers that we did, right from body scanning, remote vision, to even consciousness over matter, as to how you can do. So we are going to be learning that, we are going to be manifesting them just by receiving the initiation by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Next, coming up is where we are going to be learning about some of the various powerful cognitions that is going to empower us into receiving the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So I request all the participants from around the world, stay tuned. We're going to catch up together in just a short while after a short break. Thank you, Nithyananda.
You will become Paramashivam. 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 You will become Paramashivam.
Everybody, welcome back. And as we are all preparing ourselves to receive the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as mentioned today, we are going to be having the darshan of Chandathandava Murthy of Bhagavan Paramashiva. And as part of receiving the darshan, we are going to be learning about the science of Akasha Tattva. The science of Akasha Tattva is something that is really, really powerful, which we can actually utilize in our day-to-day life. Have you ever wondered in your life that the sound that is being created, the sound that is actually generated affects the entire lifestyle of you? Similarly, when you go to a temple, why do you feel so peaceful? And when you're in a heated argument, or you're not even part of the argument, but you're just around in a space where the argument is happening, there is so much of suffocation that you feel. It is more than just being around in like the space around. And those are the deeper sciences that we're going to learn to manifest the reality that we want in our life. So I request all the participants from around the world who are sitting with us on YouTube, Facebook, other social media platforms, Nithyananda TV. Let's all listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism about the science of Akasha Tattva. So I request everyone to listen carefully, internalize whatever Swamiji is speaking and whatever Swamiji is sharing, as we'll be having an internalization exercise after listening from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Space.
Kasha. Let me use exactly the word Mahadeva uses. Akasha is modern Sanskrit word. In original Agama, the word Kasha only is there. There is a possibility in that palm leaf. Sometimes this corner of the palm leaf gets broken. So, anyhow, whatever available, even the palm leaf breaking is his action only. So what he left it for us to understand, from that the word Kasha only is there. So let's use that, that's all. Space, simple understanding, where length, breadth, depth, time, all these are dancing. That is the aspect called space. It's a very simple understanding, but now I'm going to give you how understanding space is going to have some use for you. See, ultimately our goal is to rest in the highest consciousness. What we call as Mahasadashiva, simple words. Feeling suffocated, irritated, I'm not okay with all these simple words. Only by space, Kasha, exactly the word Mahadeva uses. Akasha is modern Sanskrit word. In original Agama, the word only is there. There is a possibility in that palm leaf. Sometimes this corner of the palm leaf gets broken. So, anyhow, whatever available, even the palm leaf breaking is his action only. So what he left it for us to understand, from that the word Kasha only is there. So let's use that, that's all. Space, simple understanding, where length, breadth, depth, time, all these are dancing, vibrating. That is the aspect called space. It's a very simple understanding, but now I'm going to give you how understanding space is going to have some use for you. See, ultimately our goal is to rest in the highest existence and highest consciousness. What we call as Mahasadashiva, simple words. Feeling suffocated, irritated, I'm not okay with all these simple words. Only by uttering them again and again, you create that feeling. How many of you understand this? Usage of those words avoided, that experience is also avoided. How many of you understand that? So, can you take 2-3 minutes and pen down, listen carefully. Usage of words in your space, becoming experience, few incidents. When you started using these words, cherishing these words, and manifesting those experiences in your space. Just for you to understand, listen, please listen. If two objects are stuck, sound is generated. If a thought is stuck on the space, reality is generated. That's all. Thought, idea, depression, irritation, simple words. How you teach to these teenager kids, how they pick up between when you guys are fighting, I cannot tolerate this, I can't digest this, hell with it, better to die than living like this. All these words, they pick up while both of you fight. And when they use that word on their space, they generate that as an experience. You yourself have done this crime against you. First time when you did this crime, try to remember and pen down. See, where you could have avoided the word and avoided the experience, that is called freedom. You chose the word and chose the experience. After that, even if you don't choose the word, experience does not leave you, that's called marriage. Bondage. Understand? See, first few times when you use the word, I am irritated, I am agitated, I can't tolerate this, I can't put up with this, better to die than living like this life, hell with you. All these phrases, there is a dance. All these Jerry Springer shows phrases. All these words, listen, when you are using first time and manifesting them as reality, you had a choice not to use them and manifest those experiences and reality. How many of you understand that? So, but after continuous usage and those experiences produced, when that become your normalcy, that is what, I can't understand this word normalcy. What is common? What is normal? Most abnormal thing is normal. Most stupid things are common. Generated good words or generated bad words, when they hit the space, they become real. Whatever makes the word into real is space. Akasa. Kasa. You are an adult. You can choose. The space inside you. Space in which you are breathing. And the whole space. Listen. 3 words I am uttering. Space inside you. Where you are alive. Where you feel you are alive. The space you are alive. The space where you are breathing. And the whole space where you are living. Taharakasha means where your life is pulsating. Taharakasha. The realization science, self-realization science is called Taharavidya. Taharakasha, where you are alive inside your body frame. That space. Where you are breathing. This is Nithyananda Sabha. This is called Katakasham. The whole is called Mahakasham. The words you reverberate inside decides the quality of your state. The words you generate in your breathing space decides quality of your space and life. The words you generate with the cosmos decides your existence, mantras. The words you generate here, I can't tolerate, I am irritated. You understand the examples? Now you understand why I gave those examples. These 3 words. Taharakasha, Chidakasha, or Katakasha, or Mahakasha. This has 2 words, Chidakasha and Katakasha, both. Why I am using both words, If you don't manifest what you want as a reality in your space, it is called Katakasha. If you manifest your life as you want, it is called Chitakasha. The state, space where you live. The state. Space where you operate. As of now, all of you are operating in this Nithyananda Sabha. Am I right? So this is called Katakasha. If you don't manifest what you want as reality. But if you manifest what you want as reality in your breathing space, it's called Chidakasha. Conscious space. Katakasha means mud space. Katam is a mud pot. The space inside the mud pot has no use. The mud pot has any use of the space inside? No, you are saying Gatam. No, Gatam is used for us, not for mud pot. For mud pot, it is a beating. Kalanarcha, Anaprandarium. No, he is trying to show, no, there is a use, Gatam. Gatam music is used for whom? For us who generates, not for the Gatam. In your space, listen, your state is Taharakasha, where you exist. Taharavidya. Taharavidya means the knowledge of enlightenment, science. Now, whatever I am talking to you, all these can be classified as Taharavidya. Precisely, if I have to translate that word, grounded in existence. Tahara. Grounding you in your soul, Atman, enlightenment, is called Taharavidya. Where you are grounded is called Taharakasha, the space of your life, alive. Your state. The words you generate there and hit you decides the state you are in. Feeling experienced, expanded, joyful, or suffocation, all is within this. How many of you are understanding? Having the whole world open for you and feeling imprisoned can be there. Sitting on one small cave, feeling enlightened can be there. Because it is on Tahara. There are many great sadhus lived in a small cave of remote Himalayas, lived such an ecstatic, glorious space. And there are many people who are flying whole day and night in the space, imprisoned inside. How many of you are understanding what I am saying? The words you utter, that creates the space you operate. That makes your breathing space as Katakasha or Chitakasha. Chitakasha means consciously generated space. Means if you are uttering all the words consciously, tuning to your life's goal, you create Chitakasha. If you are uttering why without knowing why you are uttering, or because of compulsions, and manifest default reality by fault, that is called Katakasha. Listen. Default reality is Katakasha. Conscious reality is Chitakasha. These three words, Taharakasha, Katakasha and Chitakasha, and Mahakasha. Mahakasha is whatever exists, that you don't know anything. You don't know. See, one more thing you need to know. One good thing about Akasha is it can never get corrupted. It can be easily programmed. Like electricity cannot be corrupted. It may be helping you for last 100 years, but it will not bother to kill you in 1 second if you do something wrong. Same way it may be killing so many people in so many places if something wrong is done. It will not bother to help you if you do it proper circuit. no qualities acquired, no favoritism, and no corruption. That's the quality of space. No favoritism, no quality acquired. It is all about what you want to do from now. That decides the whole programming of the space. Only when you are initiated, you use your will. With that will, you manifest something consciously in your space. Only then soul enters into your system. Till the jiva is not operative in your system, your body is alive and functioning because of the vatavarana, not because of the individual soul. He calls it Pratyagatma Chaitanya Jagratam. I'll be using this word many times in the satsang also. Individual conscious will awakening and declaring its existence. If you know, yes, I exist, and I have this as a problem, this as an inspiration. Even if you have a problem, it's okay. But your individual will should perceive the problem, only then it will start cracking the code. Understand? The Katakashic existence is called accidental existence. You need to use your will persistence ferociously. You need to break the laws of Katakasha, that is called tapas. Breaking the chains of your vatavarana by will persistence is called tapas. More tapas, more alive you will feel. That is why in Hindu tradition, if somebody wants to become a king, he will not enter into politics. He will retire to forest and start meditating for 12 years. When he becomes alive and walks into the city, the elephant comes and puts the garland and carries him and puts him on the throne of the king. Whether conquering infrastructure or internal structure, breaking Katakasha by your will is the only thing any human being need to do in the life. Katakasha is the accidental ambience you are breathing, which gives the illusion or delusion you are alive. Your existence is given a delusory idea that you are alive. Because you are breathing, you are made to believe you are alive. Like ups and downs of the wave gives the feeling as if the ocean is alive in that area. Even though there is no independent individual energy. What is will persistence? And what is will? Listen. Will is not astra, it is shastra. I'll explain these two concepts. Astra means a weapon loaded, pre-planned, pre-programmed, and operated. Shastra means power is generated and immediately released, is Shastra. Will cannot be programmed earlier and kept unused. No. Now you generate and you release. The good news is, does not need training. Will. To manifest will persistence. And will. You need not be trained for 12 years. Person who has tried to have will for 22 years and who is beginning today, both will have the same will. Because will is the weapon from the space which cannot be programmed. Listen carefully. Subtler and subtler you go, they can only be less baggaged, programmed. When you are going in bullock cart, you can carry the whole city. When you go in bus, you will have to reduce. When you go in train, you have to reduce more. When you are going in the flight, it has to be reduced a lot more. If it is jet, you can only carry pills. The subtler and subtler you go, baggage, the past patterns, compilations, judgments, concepts are not. Understand, Mahadeva very clearly says, state, space, manifestation, all the three does not need pre-training because it is fundamentally based on the space. Will power, will persistence is enough. Means you deciding now, from now what I want to do only matters. Till now what I have done. Understand, past, the good news I have for you. Past is irrelevant when you are working with the space, Akasha. Present is too relevant when you are working with Akasha. Clear? You have been 20 years devotee, 25 years devotee, or born and brought up along with me, does not matter. Or yesterday only you entered the program, does not matter at all. From this moment, what do you want to do matters. Now do you want to manifest power and cognize what I am sharing with you? Taharakasha means your soul is infused into you in the form of Shaktipada as a will. Will means experience. I exist larger than what I was feeling as me till before the initiation. How many of you are catching what I am saying? How many of you feel, listen carefully, after the initiation and power manifestation, even the way you feel you is much larger. That only manifests into Katakasha and makes it into Chidakasha. If you don't manifest power, your Nithyananda Sabha is Katakasha. If you manifest power, your Nithyananda Sabha is Chidakasha. Signs of initiation. Diksha. This word Diksha need to be understood. The word initiation is too superficial for Diksha. If I have to translate exactly the word Diksha into breathing life, infusing life, the frequency of your will existence raised to the level of frequency of will persistence to become the realization of will, reality, realization. Understand? Taharakasha breathed, Guru breathes life into Taharakasha. With that you start that will persistence. With the will persistence you start manifesting. Not only powers, even the life as you want. Katakasha becomes Chitakasha. Understand? Listen. Gap between one thought and the other thought is space. Here. Gap between one Big Bang, another black hole is space here. Listen carefully. LBD, active. LBD, active on the space generates time. Anything gets active on the space generates time. Space is the canvas on which all these four exist. Listen. Whenever a mass rotates, it creates gravity. Whenever LBD gets active, it generates time. Where all four exist is space. Because you have space inside, you are able to perceive everything. Because there is a space in the cosmos, all the generation, maintenance, destruction, delusion, liberation happens. The space here, Chidakasa, perceives everything. Space here, Parakasha, allows everything to happen. Little more. Little more. Eyes receive information, digitize it. I should call bio-digitizing. Sense it. It hits at one space and the response comes back. For example, you see the snake, response of let's run away or beat. The spot where this information hits and the response comes back is called space, Akasha. The spot which responds to information is space. If the thought, the gap between one thought and the other thought is too little, you do not perceive the existence of space. If there's a more gap, you perceive the existence of space. It's like if you are taking 2000 files, quickly you have to come back. If you are taking only 2 files, you can spend time with him. To spend time with him is called luxury, Lakshmi.
Just like gravity has its own logic, consciousness has its own logic. Brahmanda, cosmos, is Pindanda, the body you are carrying. If you decide we all need to know decisions are not a logical thought current. It is Sankhya, three-dimensional logical force. Sankalpa is not one more thought or idea you have. Listen carefully. Conscious visualization is impacting your inner and outer reality in multi-dimensional way. Conscious visualization is the Sankhya, multi-dimensional logic, way, I will repeat, listen. Conscious visualization, Satya Sankalpa, is the way you can impact your inner and outer reality drastically. This powerful cognition is the Sankhya, multi-dimensional logic of consciousness and Parashakti. We all underestimate the power of conscious visualization. Do not underestimate the power of conscious visualization. Because conscious visualization directly impacts the space, Akasa Tattva. Akasha Tattva is powerful enough to manifest what you want in your life. Multi-dimensional, functional logic of Akasha Tattva, space principle, the space power. I will reveal it to you now. Listen. What I am revealing now will become reality to all the beings who declare their integrity to me. Listen. If you want, take few seconds and consciously declare your integrity to me. It does not require you to give your money or any precious things you think as your possession. Nothing need to be renounced. Be very clear. I am putting it very clearly. Now, you declaring your conscious integrity to me does not require anything to be, anything which you like or love as to be given away. Conscious integrity is the Sankhya, multi-dimensional logic, methodology through which you connect your spiritual umbilical cord connection to me. Whoever connects whatever Paramashiva has revealed to me, I can share that to you. You can receive that to you into your system. Hinduism is all about Guru-disciple tradition, Guru-Sishya Sampradaya. All the great things are revealed through the Guru-Sishya Sampradaya to the world. I tell you, whenever you declare your integrity to a Guru, all his realizations and experience, expertise, Satya, Satya, Shaktis become yours.
If you understand one concept, which is the base of the Vastu Shastra, the scripture which speaks about the ways and methods, the house should be constructed. There's a Shastra, a scripture which speaks on that. It says there are 5 elements in the universe, in the existence. As you all know, the earth, water, fire, air, and ether, space. All the 5 elements is nothing but energy. There is Upanishad which says the whole universe has come from energy, come from the Atman. From the Atma, Akasha, from Akashat, Vayuhu, Vayur Agnihi, Agni Apah, Apa Prithvi, Prithivyor Annam. From the Atman, energy, the Akash, ether has come. From the ether, the air has come. From the air, the fire has come. From the fire, water has come. From the water, earth. We can feel the happenings in all these 4 spaces. In the earth, in the water, in the fire, in the air. You can feel, you can sense it. Because of that, we can understand. But we forget to understand that space, ether is also an energy, a power. It is more subtle and more powerful. Because when it becomes subtler, it becomes more powerful, more energetic. The science is created by the masters to handle the power of ether. To handle the power of ether. To use the power of ether in a proper way. To handle the earth, we have a lot of mechanisms, instruments. To handle the water, we have a lot of things. To handle the fire, we have a lot of things. We can use the fire by a proper oven, by a proper. So, we have designed so many things to use these 4 elements. Our masters have designed Vastu Shastra to use the ether element, use space element. The Vastu, the structure of the house is designed, the science is created to use the space. There are 3 types of spaces. One is the Chidagasa. Chidagasa means the space which is inside your being, inside your body. The space from which you operate. The second thing is called Mahakasha. Second thing is called Katakasha. The space in which you are living. Third thing is called Mahakasha, the whole sky, whole Prapancha. The Akash, which is inside your body, is called Chidagasa. The Akasha, which is under which you are living, which surrounds you, is called Katagasa. The Akasha, which is all over the universe, the Prapancha, is called Mahakasha. The Mahakasha is always pure, energetic, powerful. But the Katakasha gets imbued by your thoughts. The Katakasha has got the capacity to be energized or to lose its energy by your thoughts. It acts more or less like a alive being. Never think your house is a matter. Your house is an energy. It's an expression of, if the earth is formed in one shape, that creates a different purpose, that creates a different effect. If it is formed in other shape, that's used for a different purpose and that gives a different result. The same way, the ether can be handled. It can be used in a different forms and in different shapes. The technique to use the ether at its best is what is called Vastu Shastra. Technique to use the ether energy to its maximum level, that formula is only called as Vastu Shastra. When the ether is put in a one particular size, inside the room, inside that space, whomsoever lives, they are controlled by that ether. And that ether is in turn controlled by them. Their thoughts affect the ether and the ether affects their thoughts. For example, if you go out and sit in the open sky, by your own feeling, you can understand your being feels expanded. That is why we always love to go and sit outside for relaxation. We always try to go outside and sit. You feel something, your personality is expanding. You are becoming a little more bigger, or your boundary is getting expanded. When you enter in a house where only the 8 feet is the roof level, or the 9 feet is roof level, your head is not hitting. Even then, you feel like being, compressed or shrinking. Your mind does not feel free, or your thoughts are not flowing. The shape in which you are living, the space in which you are living, plays a major role on your mind and thoughts. And the same way, your thoughts play major role on the space on which you are living. House is not the place where you live. House is how you live. It is the extension of your personality. It is the extension of your being. The one more thing you need to understand, in the Vastu there is a sutra which says, and which is proved in modern day, which says, including the rocks and plants and the trees or the furnitures, including all these things, everything responds to your thought.
Space, kasha.
Back to the space of listening. Get yourself a pen and a paper. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. Sorry for the technical glitch. I hope that each and every one of you are able to hear. I hope every one of you are able to hear me. Okay, that's wonderful. Yes. So now we'll listen from Swamiji about how we can manifest the reality in the Chitakasha. When we are having the space around us as Katakasha, just empty space, it's only going to roll out as more and more conflicts, more and more problems that is going to exist. But every word that you utter to yourself and every word that you utter outside, that creates a direct impact on the space outside and the space inside you. So when the space inside changes, naturally the space outside also changes. So now we're going to be entering into an internalization exercise. I request all the participants who are sitting with us from around the world on Facebook, YouTube, Nithyananda TV, and various other social media platforms. Please take a few minutes, get yourself a pen and a paper. We are doing an internalization exercise where we are going to understand to see what are the truths we are experiencing in our life. What are the truths that we can receive to prepare ourselves for the Saptatandava Bhava, Paramashiva's Darshan of Saptatandava Murthy. So now let us enter into the internalization exercise. Please be seated. As we can see, many of us very commonly start using the words, oh, I feel very suffocated. I am not okay with all of this. Just recapping on what Swamiji shared. We are all so suffocated. Sorry for the technical glitch. Yes. So as I was sharing, when we start using the words of negative idea or a negative connotation to which we have a negative understanding, you will see that those words create that experience in each and every one of us. It's basically when a thought is created and that is actually stuck on the space, that becomes reality. So whenever you create negative words, whenever you create thoughts that make you feel, oh, it's not possible, I'm not able to do, and all of those kind of things, that is what you're going to manifest as a reality. But rather, we're going to start working right now to see what are the words we are put into ourselves, what are the words that we have used all this while to create the suffocation around us continuously. So that is what we are going to do now. I request everyone to get yourself pen and paper. Let's move on with the internalization exercise, where we are going to identify in our life where we are using the negative statements in our life. See, it doesn't have to be where you are uttering externally. Even inside you, when you utter, it is still a word that just stuck on the space and manifests as reality. So pen down 5 negative statements that you very, very commonly use in your life. See, this is not like any other self-motivation or self-realization. No, this is something way deeper than all of that. It is a science of manifesting reality and the science of creating and generating the space to manifest the reality as you want. So please take a few moments to sit and pen down 5 negative statements. First, pen down the 5 negative statements. For example, I feel I'm suffocated, I am irritated, I cannot handle this. So like that, what are the words that you use continuously which suffocate you? Pen them down. It might even become an unconscious thing, like it just is part of your whole vocabulary. No, pen that down. Please take a few moments to do this. It's actually very simple. Immediately it just comes to our head because we are using it constantly. You can also put it down as comments in the different things, in the different media platforms, social media platforms where each of you are viewing this live. You can also put your comments where we can read out and I can share with each and every one of you about it as well. Please go ahead and put it. While you're also penning this down, you can also pen down the 5 statements that you continuously use, probably many times when you feel success in your life, when you see that, yes, I'm able to do it. See the positive statements that you use in your life, experience and see how those have deepened the experiences in your life. For example, when you continuously utter, I feel very peaceful after doing puja, you'll actually see that it strengthens the effect of you doing puja and you actually feeling more and more peaceful. Similarly, whenever I offer to Kailasa, whenever I give to Kailasa, there is huge abundance that is generated in my life. These are truths that you generate inside you also to manifest as a reality. Similarly, whenever I chant the Mahavakya, I am able to manifest all the extraordinary powers. I am able to get rid of any problem. The moment I think of Swamiji, I am able to see that problems are solved. The moment I think of Swamiji, Swamiji is there attending to me. Like these, look at, pen down positive statements which have deepened the experience in your life. Please pen down. Please take a few minutes and pen down. By doing this, actually, we are identifying the various situations in our life where we unconsciously and consciously destroy our life. And at the same time, we are also identifying the situations where we unconsciously and also consciously at many times build it in our life. Just by identifying this difference, you will see that you will start empowering it. You will start experiencing it. Even now, so many of you are connected. So many devotees have joined. All of you know, the moment you have the Bhava Samadhi, Darshan, there's a gush of energy that happens. And you literally can manifest anything that you want during that time frame. And you're completely rejuvenated after the Bhava Samadhi, Darshan. So these kind of powerful cognitions, there are many for every one of us. Now you have to decide, the moment you even identify, you have to look in to decide what do you actually want to manifest. Do you want to create the space where you feel stuck? Or do you want to create the space where you want to manifest the reality? So just by penning down, you'll come to this understanding. You'll come to this realization. I request all of you also to go over and post. You can post it in the comment section, the Facebook, in the YouTube, in our various other platforms. You can post it. If you have any doubts or questions also, you can always post. Very, very shortly, we're going to be having the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So I request all the participants who are sitting with us, who are viewing this live from everywhere, let's prepare ourselves mentally and physically by doing the process and by being part of the entire preparatory program. See, the entire preparation actually helps you with receiving the darshan completely. So go over and participate in everything intensely, do everything intense, which will help you with manifesting the powers of Paramashiva and experiencing the completeness of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So now it is time where we move towards the next segment of the preparation. We're going to be joining back after a very short break. I still request those of you who still haven't finished, please take your time. Go over and pen down 5 of these situations and just reflect on it. There's nothing special that you're going to be doing on it. So let us now move on to the next session after a short break. Please stay tuned. Thank you. Nithyananda.
Time and space, Bhagwan Paramashiva, the all-powerful, all-pervasive, and all-knowing ultimate superconscious existence revealed in the Vedas and Agamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, the truths about himself and the manifested universe and its multidimensional and simultaneously existing dimensions and worlds, also known as parallel universes or vertical time zones.
त्रुट्यादि प्रत्ययस्यार्थ कालो माया समुद्भवः. The Kala Tattva, which gives rise to the knowledge of various time zones and parallel universes such as Truti and others, is originated by Ananteshwara from the impure Maya.
Bhagwan Paramashiva mentions that as we experience the various higher states of consciousness, we simultaneously experience the various time zones associated with them. We get transported to the parallel universes and experience the other dimensions of our own existence.
Listen. Subarloka is
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam, we welcome all the viewers, participants from more than 175 countries joining with us in Twitter video conferencing and all the Kailasas social media platforms. I welcome each and every one of you all to this amazing segment today. And we would like to wish all of you the auspicious occasion of Pongal. Very good new auspicious beginning is what we would like to wish to all of you. And now, in this segment, we are going to be seeing one of the very important aspects that all the Hindus are looking forward in today's world. And in today's world, if you take any part of the world, there is so much of suffering in terms of, though there is advanced technology available, is the technology really meeting the demands for the people in terms of health, in terms of well-being, in terms of mental peace? Is it really catering the needs of the people today? Answer is no. But how our Hindu civilization, being as old as sun, how the age-old Hindu civilization was able to maintain the ecosystem in a very blissful way where every single sect of the ecosystem constantly worked towards living enlightenment. It is because of the structure, the ecclesiastical structure, that held the ecosystems together, which is responsible for this well-being of the people. In today's segment, we are going to learn some of the very interesting facts and ideas about how the Hindu kingdoms functioned in the past. And there are some participants from the program who are still part of the power manifestation segment. I request all the participants to kindly come out of the blindfold, and we will be starting the next session shortly now. Yes. Now, Hinduism is a pantheon of religion. It is not just one religion. The Sanatana Hindu Dharma is a pantheon of all the religions. About more than 100,000 sects and religious denominations can simply derive out of the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. That's because of 100 million source scriptures that Paramashivam himself has delivered to the humanity on how to living enlightenment as per Shastras. There are 56 Hindu nations and kingdoms that constituted the Sanatana Hindu Dharma in the ancient times. And Lord Paramashiva, Bhagavan Paramashiva, presides as the head of the state in three forms. How? There is number one, through scriptures, Vedas and Agamas. And number two is through deities, presiding deities, Archavatara. And number three, Nijavatara, which is the enlightened incarnations of Paramashiva. The Rajaguru or the Raja Rishis in themselves preside over these kingdoms. Now, the Raja Gurus were considered the living embodiment of Paramashiva, which is something that all the Hindus must reflect today, because what we learn from the pseudo anti-Hindu media or what we learn in the Macaulay written textbooks is something completely different. It has almost become a fashion statement for today's youth to say that I don't believe in gurus. But please understand, your past, your history, your ancestors have shown where the Nijavataras, the incarnation of Paramashiva, is always represented through enlightened gurus. So the Raja Gurus were considered the living embodiment of Lord Paramashiva. And they are not only the spiritual authority of the kingdom, they also form the apex constitutional authority and the head of the state. Yes, you heard it right. The gurus, the Raja Gurus, formed the apex constitutional authority and they were considered as the head of the state. They, in fact, they were also addressed as Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam or Guru Mahasanidhanam. And the Guru Mahasanidhanam is, can be translated as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, these Rajagurus, not only held the entire Hindu kingdoms spiritually, empowering the people to live the signs of living enlightenment, they also they are also considered as the head of the state and they are the apex constitutional authority. Hindu gurus were actually given such reverence and they occupy a very responsible position in the entire kingdom, both spiritually as well as politically. And Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is officially recognized as the Jagat Guru Mahasanidhana kingdoms. And these Jagat Gurus had the responsibility of appointing and coronating the king of the Hindu nation. This is something, once again, a very interesting fact to many of you because you might not have cognized the role and the conflict, withdraw from the kingdom and exile himself. However, in all the circumstances, the Rajaguru remains the ultimate constitution authority. Yes. Now, the title Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam in English could be translated as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And Hinduism authorizes each Rajaguru to represent the interest of the entire Hinduism in this country. And even internationally and nationally, they become the apex body, apex structures who represent this entire interest of the Hindu community. And like this, so many other people, just like Vishnu Gupta, like I mentioned earlier, there are many such Rajagurus who formed a key role in advancing faith, in advancing religion, in advancing technology, medicine, and the political sovereignty of these Hindu kingdoms at large. Yes, and one more very interesting example would like to share, which is in recent times, as early as 19th century, following the footsteps of 12th Jagadguru Sringeri Sharada Peetham, His Holiness Vidyaranya, who in 1320 CE has created the Hindu nation of Vijayanagara from the scratch and gave more than 500 years of protection to Hinduism. I would like to reiterate here, it is actually 500 years of protection to Hinduism. Every single Hindu kingdom that survived was actually protecting the Hinduism. I would like to stress this point here because Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is the reigning emperor and the Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam of 21 kingdoms. And it is not just ruling and becoming the constitutional authority of this kingdom, it is literally protecting the Hinduism for next few hundred years. Every time a Hindu kingdom is revived, it is resurrected and under the guidance of a Rajaguru, it just means that the Hinduism is going to thrive for next few hundred years in that society. So Swamiji is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is the Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam of 21 such kingdoms. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. Just would like to request all the viewers out there, if you feel that these facts that you're learning today is very interesting and you would like to share with many such ignorant Hindus out there, please post that in the chat. We'd really like to know your feedback because this is something which we have never even cognized. Definitely being born and brought up in a Hindu community, I've never even cognized or been educated the role of Hindu gurus. It is not just giving the spiritual protection and spiritual education to the community. Rather, the Hindu gurus played such a vital role in holding the entire ecosystem politically, constitutionally, in every other means. And kings were just the executive authorities of these Rajagurus. This is something so amazing, and we have seen and we have learned in many other kingdoms also. So what I'm just going to share with all of you is on 11th, 12th, and 13th of January 2015, Swamiji was coronated as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. A huge Atirudra Mahayaga was conducted in Adi Kailas Nithyananda Sarvapita, and thousands of Hindu leaders and pontiffs, all of them came together to coronate Swamiji, and he was given the title Bhagavan and the incarnation of Paramashiva himself for reviving these 21 Hindu kingdoms. We may not understand the value of what it means to revive a Hindu kingdom, because so much of ideological persecution and double-blind genocide is what the Hindus are going through today. Many of us are completely immune to being persecuted. That is how we are responding. That is how our default response has been. Now, the Hindu leaders and seers, they actually see Swamiji's hard work in reviving all these Hindu kingdoms, what it really takes to revive the Hindu kingdoms to its pristine authenticity. Swamiji has revived each and every single Hindu kingdom. And over the upcoming days, we will go the details and what really involves in revival of ancient Hindu kingdoms every day. And for this presentation, I'm just going to touch on few important aspects where we can learn the importance of Guru in holding the entire ecosystem, and the contribution of Swamiji of being the Rajaguru, the Jagadguru Mahasanthanam of 21 such Hindu kingdoms. And he was coronated as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by 1,000 plus Hindu leaders and seers in the year 2015 on 11th, 12th, and 13th of January. And the Adirutra Mahayaga is the highest form of worship of Paramashiva as per Hindu sacred scriptures. And it was performed in a very elaborate way by all these Hindu leaders and seers to coronate Swamiji. And the 21 kingdoms where Swamiji is the Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam starts with the Arunachala Sarvanyapita, and then followed by Tundai Mandala Madinam. Then we have Suryavamsa Surangi Samsas, the Bhagyanagara Sarvanyapita. Yes, this is Kailasa Paramparagata Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam, where Swamiji is the incumbent emperor of this kingdom. Kailasa Paramparagata Agnivamsa Pallava Samrajyam. And Swamiji was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the ancient Madurai. And here what you're seeing is the coronation of Swamiji as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akada. And Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Achala Akada and Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akada. And here, three kingdoms, namely Kailasa Paramparagata, Suryavamsa Sarvanyapita Adi Chola Samrajyam. Swamiji is coronated as the Swarnapita Sarvanyapita Swargapuram. Yes, and it is not just revival of these ancient kingdoms. Swamiji has delivered discourses, thousands and thousands of hours of discourses. In fact, Swamiji is awarded as the person who has delivered maximum number of spiritual discourses, 3 lakh discourses in the last 30 years by the Asia Book of Records. And more than, Swamiji also was awarded as the single-authored book, single author, maximum number of books written by a single author. So I'm just going to take a few minutes of your time to show the most grand celebrations of Swamiji receiving the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism coronation by all these Hindu leaders and seers. You can see here how grand the entire Adirutra Mahayaka was conducted. And here you can see the Abhishekam, Patabhishekam, where all these Hindu leaders are coronating Swamiji as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. I have many other individual and personal problems. Are you going to be one such criminally negligent Hindu? Or are you going to awaken to the true purpose for what you have happened today? The avatar has descended in this planet to revive the Sanatana Hindu Dharma to its original glory. We can see it every day, literally every single day. Kailasa is signing bilateral agreements with several countries and cities around the world. Everybody is
literally last 39 years from the age of 5, whatever Paramashiva manifested through teaching, speaking, writing, every way, condensing the whole thing and presenting it to you all as experientially in these 21 days through this Jnana Charya, Jnana Kriya, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Jnana is Mahaparamashivoham. Lifestyle for just Paramashiva. Rituals to be just Paramashiva. Yoga for just being Paramashiva. Jnana just Paramashiva. This Mahaparamashivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way. Understand, literally last 39 years from the age of 5, whatever Paramashiva manifested through teaching, speaking, writing, every way, condensing the whole thing and presenting it to you all as experientially in these 21 days through this Jnana Charya, Jnana Kriya, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Jnana is Mahaparamashivoham. Lifestyle for just Paramashiva. Rituals to be just Paramashiva. Yoga for just being Paramashiva. Jnana just Paramashiva. This Mahaparamashivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way.
Welcome back, all the viewers. Would like to complete with all the viewers. Sorry for the technical glitch. And we'll resume the session now. I'd like to summarize shortly about all the discussions that we had in last half an hour. Hindu gurus are at the receiving end of the brutal persecution that Sanatana Hindu Dharma is facing. Anybody who declares themselves as a Hindu guru is a target by the anti-Hindu elements in the form of hate propaganda or just a lawfare. This actually is instilled in the community in a such way that even to tell that I have a guru is a matter of shame for Hindus. This is how an ideological persecution has happened in the Hindu community. But in today's presentation, we saw how Hindu gurus were revered in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the place and position that they held in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. They are not just the spiritual authorities of the kingdom, they are in fact the constitutional apex body. And in fact, the kings, who we always think that, they are the rulers, they are the ultimate authority of the kingdom, they are actually the executive authorities of the kingdom, not the administrative or the constitutional head of the kingdom. So the constitutional head of the kingdom is always the Rajaguru. So this we have actually seen in so many examples. And today, Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the Rajaguru or the Guru Mahasannidhanam of 21 ancient kingdoms. In each of these kingdoms, Swamiji has revived and protected the values that each ecosystem held. When it is revival, it is about reviving all the 5 pillars, whether it is Annalaya or Goshala or preserving the religious sanctity that the temple must hold. Every single aspect of the Hindu kingdom is taken care and is revived and brought back to life. And he is recognized as the Guru Mahasannidhanam. He is coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of this 21 such ancient Hindu kingdoms. So now, so when Swamiji is the Guru Mahasannidhanam of these ancient kingdoms, which only means that the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is happening to its totality. And when the Hindu scriptures, Vedas and Agamas are getting destroyed, when Hindu temples where the Archavatara is getting abused and the Nijavatara, the gurus and enlightened masters are getting abused, this is exactly when the descent of the Swamiji is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva, and he has descended in this planet Earth just for the protection and the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And it is happening beautifully with Swamiji's grace and blessings. Kailasa is going to be open very, very shortly, and Swamiji is going to be announcing this year about the Kailasa being open for all the public to enjoy and benefit from the fruits of Hinduism. Now, it gives us a very important perspective that when Kailasa is advancing, where Kailasa is making a great progress in a way that the entire mass is becoming so, they are actually celebrating it as their own success. That is how they see Kailasa. So if this is the sentiment amongst the mass, the people who are there here, can we take a step? Can we take one step that makes us understand that Kailasa is my life, and I'm going to take this step towards building this Hindu nation. So your step, your conscious decision to be part of the Hindu nation is what is really required today, because Swamiji has made everything happen, right? It's not a joke when I say, okay, it's been recognized in UN, it is now recognized in United States of America. It involves a lot of tyaga, so much of tyaga, so much of sacrifice. And that is exactly what today so many people are enjoying the fruits of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and Kailasa. It's because of the tyaga that Swamiji did. Right. So on this occasion, I welcome and request all the participants, all the viewers out there, let us take that one sankalpa. Let us take that sankalpa that yes, I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to give my best to be part of Kailasa. Your decision to be part of Kailasa is what is really required, because the rest of the whole thing, Swamiji is going to make it happen so beautifully. So would like to request all the participants to sign up in the link projected.
we need a Hindu nation? That question need to be addressed. Because the Hindu civilization is good, it need to be kept alive, we need a Hindu nation. But the civilization is getting destroyed in extremely alarming speed. Hindus are neither ready to wake up, and anyone who is even trying to wake up the Hindus is targeted and destroyed brutally. Fortunately, with the grace of Paramashiva, I am still alive. I am not killed. I did not fall. But the number of attempts on my life and the lawfare done on me and the defamation, destroying my identity, all this is enormous. If you see the volume of atrocity material generated on me in the internet, you will be shocked. Listen carefully. I want Hindus to know this truth. Understand? The target of anti-Hindu elements is not me, you. Because I am defending all of you, I am being targeted. Listen. Let me reveal some of these truths step by step. First, India has two layers. Civilizational nation, territorial nation. The threats territory is facing, all of you know. But the threats civilizational nation is facing, unsaid. Even the Hindus are not waking up to this truth. The threat Hindu civilizational nation is facing, even Hindus strongly believe caste system is wrong. Oh God. Hey, this is the system which made you live, which is your life, which is still keeping you alive, the only existing ancient civilization. There are 49 ancient civilizations. All 48 has disappeared. The only living continuously living unbroken civilization is Hindu civilization. The reason, one and only reason, is caste system. That line I agree. The caste, that I agree. But don't try to dismantle the very caste system. The caste system kept this civilization alive. Deity worship kept the civilization alive. Temples kept the civilization alive. I have incorporated this Kailasa, nation without borders. Kailasa, nation without borders. In a way I can say whole universe is Kailasa. Kailasa, nation without borders. I have incorporated in multiple countries. Each Kailasa will function in their own countries as per that country's law. Within that country's law. Understand? The Kailasa is revived to do contribution, uniting the nations for contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music. In every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world, if you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected, not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole thing alive